Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Good morning. आज बुधवार है ना?
Today is Wednesday, isn't it? Which is the day of Mama. I must have mentioned many times, but I'll tell you again. Monday is the day of Shiv Baba, and Tuesday is the day of Vishnu. They call him Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu. And Wednesday, Mama's Day, the day of the intellect. Thursday is the day of the Satguru, the day of Jupiter, so that there should be good omens on you. Friday is the day of thanks, and Saturday, the day of giving up or giving donations so that the eclipse is removed, and Sunday, the day of the the day of the Son of Knowledge and the sons of the Son of Knowledge, S-U-N and S-O-N, and then again Monday. And so this 7 days course has a great deal of importance, and those who are here in Madhuban sitting for 7 days, giving themselves the opportunity to be fully in the bhakti. We had 14 years of bhakti. You must have heard the news of that. And the experience of that 14 years you can do in 14 days in Madhuban. Why? Because it is the place of blessings and the place of tapasya. It is the place where the Supreme Being displayed his characteristics. And when you're here in Gyan Sarovar or at Panda Bhavan, there is the feeling of the amazing wonder of Baba that in the entire world you must have seen, and I have also seen probably more than you. I must have seen more than you. And there are no other pilgrimage places that are like this. There are pilgrimage places of every religion, the place of birth of the founding fathers. Do you have the intoxication of which pilgrimage place you are sitting in? Because this is a pilgrimage place for every child of the Supreme Being, so that they can see the vision of God and become themselves exhibitions of God. And when I see all of you, I see the soul filled with purity, peace, happiness. And we live in such a place which produces this effect. We sit in such a place and directly listen to the words of God Himself. God speaks, and we listen. And so at every moment there is some or another story that I'm reminded of. When we came to Abu, we were at Bikaner House and Alvar House. These are the residences of the kings whose summer palaces was here. And so Baba said, you go and serve the kings. And so the Queen Mother of the King of Bikaner was there, and Baba said, serve her. So I went there, and I went into her little office, and I said to her, the secretary, I said, I want to meet the Queen Mother, and I remembered God with a lot of love, and Baba had spoken this in the Murli, and in that day I went. I got an appointment. And so I went to meet the Queen Mother. And I didn't get the idea of bringing anyone with me. I went alone. And she met me with so much love. She had a lot of, she was a devotee, and she didn't know that there is the possibility of sharing a discussion about bhakti. she felt that, yes, I am here because of the blessing of God. And she said, no, I do bhakti in the night and everybody is sleeping, and I do my bhakti at 12 o'clock at night, and until I see a vision of Vishnu, I cannot go to sleep. And we are sitting in such a place where we can see him. So she says, I go to sleep and I feel, who should I tell that who had sent you to me? Then Baba had said, go and serve this soul, and then I went to serve her. And at that night, Baba said, that was the time when we had the beggary part. So in the yogi whose eyes were remaining open, sitting in a V shape from 2 to 5, we would be about 25 to 30 sisters and Baba and Mama sitting in front, and they gave drishti to us. We sat like that in a V shape, and the light of that room was visible. We could see from that room we could see the town, and Baba would give drishti. And he said, did you remember the mother? And he said, I'm asking, did you remember her? Because she is a devotee, that Queen Mother, and tell her that I talked to her. I said, yes, Baba had said. So you have to remember her and emerge her, because then she can start talking to the Father. So Baba got us to do these kinds of service, and then I took Daddy Kumarka to see her, that Queen Mother. There has to be so much intoxication. Who is the teacher and what is the study? What are we learning and for what reason are we studying this? Baba says those who understand these things, those children who understand this, are very, very few. And you have to understand in such a way that others, when they see you, they wonder. I say, what is this person speaking? It feels as though they're talking the words of God. And so there was the matter of blessings that we discussed yesterday evening. Baba had said the sannyasis are people that people go to for blessings for long life and child and so on, but Baba is giving you the blessings of being able to make effort or being inspired to make effort. Otherwise, he doesn't give you a blessing like that. It is those who make effort today to whom Baba gives blessings. And those who do true effort, they receive success as a blessing. In effort, there is a natural development in their effort, and they will say that this is Baba's blessing. If you're going to make effort, it should be in such a way, the way that Baba says it should be done. Two steps of yours, and it used to be 8 steps of his. And now it's 1 step of ours and 1,000 steps of Baba. It's amazing, the ratio. Just you have to make sure that you don't stop taking the steps of effort. Otherwise, Baba cannot do anything. You cannot do anything without Baba. You say, oh, what shall I do? This thing happened. That is called carelessness. You didn't accept Baba's order that you stand to attention and be in Baba's remembrance. You can't even use your body as an excuse. The effort of the soul cannot be like a crippled effort. it's no use to make effort like a crippled person. And so these words that Baba spoke, they strike the heart, and then you start making serious effort. It cannot be casual. There can never be a difference between your inside and your outside. Your eyes should be such, totally clear. Hold yourself in the stage of the soul. I am a soul. I belong to the Supreme Soul as His child. I am a pure soul filled with the love of God, and that attracts God. This is an experience you must try out. So Daddy is suggesting to have a program so that people can experience these things from the depth of their heart, so that the soul can really understand itself and realize that I belong to the Supreme Soul. And then Baba pulls the soul, and the soul freed itself from being here by Baba's signal. One is Baba's direction, and the other is Shrimat. A third is a signal. If you are intelligent, you will go according to the directions, how you sit, eat, move around, do things according to directions. There are directions for those types of activities. So we got directions. This is how you get up, this is how you eat, this is how you move around. And so Baba taught us how to walk around and be in silence, not talk. When you go for walks, do it in silence. 1, 2, 3 miles in silence. Don't talk to each other. Baba taught these things because people have a habit of talking about all sorts of stuff. And Baba used to check us. He would send Didi to see who's nattering. What are they talking about? So when you came to Madhuban, it means you come to die, absolutely to die. The soul lets go of all the old things of many, many lives. Because it lived in Ravan's kingdom for a long time. And Ravan stole all of our treasures, all the fortune of the kingdom that we had received from God. It was stolen. It wouldn't let anybody go. Even the sannyasis and mahatmas cannot take birth through the power of yoga, regardless of their level of purity. Baba makes us so pure so that our birth takes place through yoga. There has to be that much powerful yoga, and the soul has to be that much pure so that its birth is of that caliber through yoga power. There shouldn't be the slightest trace of impurity remaining. So you have to look at yourself in regard to that. Check it. Previously, we used to have a week for purity, a week for peace. Maybe Sister Chakadari remembers this. And so we had a whole week of purity, where we just focused on the details of purity, and a week for peace. So each moment, each second also, we must check ourselves to see that we're not even touched by impurity in our thought, or anybody's vibration has touched me, influenced me, or reached me. My vibration has to be so powerful that no one around me can have an impure thought. Once in Madhuban, when Baba was in Sakar, at that time we may be about 500 people. It was the first time 500 had come to Madhuban. And Baba had such an inspiration to keep us in total silence. And somebody came, And he saw, oh, there's no sound here. Everything is quiet here. And normally when you go to temples, there's all kinds of activities going on that are quite noisy, but there isn't anything like that here. He was looking, 500 people living. Pandabhavan was very small at that time. Perhaps there wasn't even the history hall by that time. But there was no sound. And now in Gyan Sarovar and Pandabhavan, there also needs to be that kind of silence. The people who are searching for peace in the whole world, they need to know that they can get it from here. And that the divine deities of peace, the bestowers of peace, are sitting here. One is to be a deity in the form of having divine virtues, but the other is to be a bestower of peace. So there has to be that feeling inside that you wish to make that level of effort, and then Baba will fulfill that desire and you will be able to. Sometimes people give donation because of their true feelings, and Baba gives the return of that. And whatever is the kind of service you do, you receive the accumulated return of that. And if you do wrong things, then whatever is the accumulation of service you had done, it goes into loss. Baba has said, you did this, you accumulated it, but then you did wrong action, your intellect got locked up. And whatever you had taken from God in the first place, it automatically is finished and no longer exists for you. And then once again, make the soul absolutely true and pure, so that Baba again has mercy on the soul. I have seen this also. Compassion, mercy, forgiveness. Baba can truly forgive if a person is really apologetic and really repents. But if you repent from the depth of your heart, then you realize that you had finished off all you had accumulated, and then once again Baba will give you the mercy and compassion and say, okay, let's make that child fly, he is my child anyway. And he will give a lot of love and make that child fly. Everything of the past is forgotten. Baba applies the full stop. It's very difficult for a person to forgive themselves. And so how can we finish our sins? We look in the mirror and we see, yes, I did that. But with so much love, Baba causes you to forget that. And now these are the moments when this is going on. Whether you accept it or not, sit quietly and ask yourself, are you going to take the benefit of these moments, or are you going to still leave it to the future? If you say, yes, it's fine, but are you still in those thoughts? Because if you are, then these moments of opportunity will disappear and they will not come back. Do not see anyone as being to blame for anything. But it may be somebody did something, but always think that it is I am to blame for looking at them and thinking about their fault. Think about this. This is a very deep philosophy of karma. The moment when we have the thought that someone is blameworthy, I see their action and I do this thought, and instead of having manman above, I'm thinking about the person being to blame, then this is a great loss for me. And then you cannot enjoy the company. You will get, you will cry and you will experience depression in the gathering because you find fault with people. Do not find fault with anyone. Do not allow anyone's fault to sit on your memory track. Baba never saw anyone's fault. He said, "This is my child, so with what eyes do I see my child?" And neither he sees that nor he speaks about it. Because if you speak about it, then it becomes very firm. Even if that mistake is gone, but you remember them for that mistake, because you have talked about it, you make it your own possession. And then whatever is very good about yourself, it's not visible to anyone, and you're not able to do good action. And whatever you're doing, it doesn't work out. So at the present time, very, very deep philosophy of karma is operating. And this is why, again and again, in every Murli, Baba says, Baba is teaching to you souls, you children, see who is the one who is teaching you and what is he teaching you. Each and every point of Baba strikes your heart in such a way so that nobody else's stuff can penetrate your heart. And this is why Baba says, understand drama very, very well. Very few of Baba's children understand drama. Whatever it is fine. For that you need tolerance. If you go into the depth of all of the knowledge, and in order to bring it into practical form, you need to have great, great power of tolerance. And if you have, it makes you very intelligent and able to keep your memory track clean. And you're able to give help. Drama is very good. It is fixed and predestined, Baba has explained. There is nothing new. But very patiently, you have to explain this to yourself. And just as Baba and Mama, so you also do the same way. And this is why it's good to keep the picture of Mama and Baba. People ask us, but yes, I keep it. If you see Mama's face, Baba's face, and then see your own face, these are mirrors for you. And so you have to see in the mirror to see how you are. So Mama is a mirror for you to check how you look, what you are. How did these people achieve the status of Lakshmi and Narayan is visible through their face. In order to go back to the home, you sit ready. And in order to come into the golden age, you have to be a very good quality person of the sanskaras, of a person who will take a high status, emerge those sanskaras here, so that they are visible practically. Because these are the ones who indeed are engaged in the establishment of the golden age, and you will come. So you have to create such an atmosphere so that in a second it is as if somebody has come into heaven when they come around your vibration. Sweet children, see this. Baba doesn't only speak the Murli at the time of the Murli, but through the whole day, Baba is going around and checking all of us. He's circling around. I experience that Baba is watching what this one and that one is doing. Do not think that Baba is not seeing. Be very attentive that Baba is checking to see whether you are studying or wasting your time. You came to Madhuban as clouds to fill yourself. You are receiving so much nourishing food. You come to refresh yourselves and to charge your batteries. And so do not waste a second of this precious time. Sweet children, your duty is
अस्थाई
to make everyone firm
अस्थाई सुख और शांति का रास्ता बताना
and to show them the clear, accurate and firm way to permanent peace and happiness. Remain in peace
और शांति की बख्शिश दो
and give the alms of peace to others.
क्या शब्द है वहाँ का?
Baba uses the word bakshish,
शांति की बख्शिश दो
and so give a donation. People come to get something, so give them that alms of peace.
पर्सन किस गुह्य राज को समझने के लिए
Understanding what deep secret requires an unlimited intellect. Answer.
ड्रामा की जो सीन
Whatever are the scenes of drama,
जिस समय चलनी है
the time at which they happen, only at the time when they're supposed to happen. And so remember this, whatever scene has to happen, it will happen at the time when it has to happen. It has its accurate age. Baba also comes at his accurate time, and there isn't a difference of even a second.
पूरे 5000 वर्ष के बाद
It is exactly after 5,000 years that Baba comes and incarnates.
ये गुह्य राज समझने के लिए
In order to understand this deep secret, you need an unlimited intellect.
गीत
The song is,
दुनिया न बदलेंगे हम
"The world may change, but I will not change." It's a very lovely song of Baba's.
बदल जाए दुनिया
The world may change, but
पैदा किया है
the promise that I have made, I will not change it. Om Shanti. To the sweet spiritual children, the spiritual father sits and explains.
बच्चों को रास्ता बताते हैं
He explains the way to the children.
रास्ता बताते हैं
Explanation means to tell the way to the world of peace and the world of happiness.
इस समय
At this time,
सब मनुष्य विश्व में
all
शांति
people
चाहते
in the world require peace.
हैं। हर एक इंडिविजुअली भी चाहते
Each one wants it individually.
वहीं पर नोट करें जिनको ये डिपार्टमेंट हमारी है ना
So the different departments we have, how to speak, how to write, all these things. Who will be the instrument to note down these things? Anthony, do you understand?
ऐसे नोट करो
So note these things.
हर एक इंडिविजुअली चाहते हैं
Each person wants peace individually. Everyone says, I want peace of mind. But where are they going to get it from?
शांति का सागर तो
The ocean of peace is in fact the Father. And so draw people's attention to that source
शामिल सीखता है
from where you get this inheritance. You get the inheritance of peace individually, and peace is also attainable wholesale.
अभी कहते विचार करो कितने ऊंचे शब्द हैं
So see how great these words are. Individually and wholesale, you get peace from the One.
यानी सबको मिलता है
That means everyone receives peace.
जो बच्चे पढ़ते हैं समझ सकते हैं
Those children who study can
समझ
understand
सकते हैं यहाँ हम शांति का
that
हिस्सा लेने के
we
लिए
have come here in order to get our inheritance of peace, and so we are making our own effort for that.
औरों को रास्ता बताते हैं
And we also are giving others the information about the way this peace has to happen in this world, whether somebody comes or doesn't come.
बच्चों का फर्ज है
It is the duty of you children to give peace to everyone.
ये समझ नहीं सकते
But they can't understand. What's the point of only 2 or 4 getting the inheritance? Someone is told the way, but
निश्चय न होने के कारण
due to not having faith, they are unable to make others like themselves.
बाबा ने कहा उसको
If somebody hasn't understood properly, then they're not able to tell it to anyone else. Those who have faith in the intellect, they understand. And so you got this who feels that they have this vow with Baba that they will definitely do this. There is a difference between an inheritance and a gift from Baba. Every day you have to make the effort to take the inheritance, and it's as if you're receiving it as a gift. So you need such a good intellect to take it as a gift. He gives blessings. They say, may you be very wealthy, may you have a long life, but just by saying it you don't get an inheritance, a blessing. People ask for blessings. If you want peace, well, you have to make effort for peace. So which ones of you feel this? That you are getting the inheritance of peace, you make the effort, but yet it's as if it's a gift. Who of you feel this, that you're receiving this as a gift? Raise your hands from the depth of your heart that you're receiving the gift of peace from Baba. And as you listen to the Murli, you get that feeling that Baba's giving everything to you. And what you are catching at the present time, you're making the effort for the inheritance, but Baba is so pleased with you that he gives it to you as a gift. These are the moments, and God is speaking. They want a blessing, but it is explained to them that if you want peace, then you have to make appropriate effort. By making effort, you receive everything. In the path of bhakti, they take so many blessings from the mothers, fathers, teachers, gurus. They are asking for blessings to be peaceful and happy, but they're not able to remain that way because there are so many people. So how is it possible for them all to have peace and happiness? It is sung that there are the givers of peace, and it comes into the intellect. You say, "O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, give me the alms of peace." In fact, bakshish is something that you pick up and you give to somebody. And so then it is said, this is bakshish for you, this is a prize for you, a gift, free. So it doesn't matter how much bakshish you give, house, clothes, whatever. It's temporary. People give these things to each other. Rich people give them to poor people or even to other rich people, but this is peace and happiness, and it is a permanently remaining gift or bakshish, not temporary. So in this Murli, these things touch the heart so deeply. Anyone could come and they should be given the gift of permanent peace, the bakshish of permanent peace. Nobody can give and have a life of peace and happiness. They cannot give that to anyone. Only the one Father can give it. He is called the ocean of peace, happiness and purity. People praise the highest on high Father, and they understand that they can get peace from him. But still they go to the sadhus and saints because it is bhakti's path, the path of bhakti. And so they keep wandering around to all the different places, north, south, east, west. But those efforts are for temporary benefits, and you children have stopped doing all that. You also write from the unlimited Father. You can get 100% purity, peace and happiness as your inheritance. Here, the world is 100% impure, sorrowful, and peaceless, but people don't understand. And they say that, well, the rishis and munis are pure, but they still got born through vice. The most important thing is this. In Ravan's kingdom, it is not possible for there to be any purity. Purity, peace, and happiness, the ocean of all these things is only the one Father. You do know that from Shiv Baba, for 21 births, that is, for half of the kalpa, that is 2,500 years, for 2,500 years we receive this inheritance. You know. I'm telling you this line again. You know. Open your eyes, please. You know. I'm not giving you a lullaby to make you all go to sleep. You seem to be enjoying this lullaby, but you're an army getting orders, and you're here to take from Baba. So for 2,500 years you are receiving the inheritance. This is a guarantee. For half a kalpa it is the world of happiness, and half a kalpa it is the world of sorrow. There are two halves in the world, and Baba gives you these slices and points for opening up your eyes. Half the cycle sorrow, half the cycle happiness. It is for this that you are taking the kingdom. There are two. One is the new, the other is the old world. But when is the new world and when is the old world, people do not know. The age of the tree is absolutely accurate, but nobody can say what it is. And now through the Father you have come to know this tree. It is a 5,000 years old tree, and you know its accurate lifespan. And you can't tell the lifespan of other trees. They can figure it out more or less, but then there can be a storm and then the tree falls and it's dead and over. People also get a sudden death. And the age of this unlimited tree is 5,000 years exactly, and there isn't a single day plus or minus. It is a fixed predestined tree, and there is no possibility of any difference. In this drama, every scene that happens at whichever time has to happen at that time only. So if I'm not okay, then I have to fix myself. But whatever scene, I can't be disturbed by it, because it's going to be exactly that, and it repeats exactly. The age is accurate, the time is accurate. Baba has to come in order to establish the new world. And he comes accurately at the right time, and there cannot be a difference of even a second. And now, when you understand that, then you've got an unlimited intellect. Until then, it's limited. You need an unlimited intellect. And it's only by understanding this. Is this right? How can the intellect go into the unlimited state? The intellect has become unlimited. You cannot understand after. You do understand how after 5,000 years, how Baba comes and incarnates. And this is why it is said Shivratri. For Krishna, they say Janmashtami. And each and every word has significance. And the reason why they say Shivratri and Janmashtami for Krishna, you can't say Janmashtami for Shiv Baba. Only you can say the Ratri, the night, because if he has a birth, then he has to have a death. And people speak about the birthday of people, but for Shiva, it's always the night of Shiva. And in the world, nobody knows about this, but you understand why people speak about Shivratri and why they don't say Janamashtami for Shiva. because his birth is divine and unique,
जो और कोई का हो नहीं सकता,
and no other soul can take birth in that way.
ये कोई जानते नहीं.
And nobody knows this.
शिव बाबा
Shiv Baba, when
कैसे आते,
and how does he come?
कितना हमको समझते हैं.
He has given us so much understanding. He's told us when and how Shiv Baba comes and what is the meaning of Shivratri. You know the meaning of the night of Shiva. This is unlimited. The night of Bhakti is finished. The day of Brahma comes, and then it's the day and the night of Brahmans also. So it's not just the game of only one Brahma. Now you also know.
फिर से क्या जानते हैं,
What do you know?
शुरू होना है.
You know that the day is about to break.
पढ़ते पढ़ते जाए,
And as you continue to study, you will reach your home.
पढ़ते पढ़ते
You keep studying, and then you go and reach your home.
दिन में आएंगे.
And then you will come in the day.
आधा कल्प दिन में,
For half the kalpa it's day, and half of the kalpa it is night. And it is spoken like this. And you will study and end up in the home you will go.
परंतु किसकी भी बुद्धि में नहीं
But
आता है.
it doesn't come into anybody's intellect. Those people think that the age of the Kali Yuga is 40,000 more years and the golden age is 100,000 years, and then they can't calculate the half of the cycle. You understand the beginning, continuation, and end of the whole cycle. After 5,000 years, the world cycle rotates once again.
विश्व तो है ही.
There is just one world, and as you continue to play your part, you get troubled.
ये क्या आवागमन है.
And they say, well, we don't want this play of coming and going. Suppose you would be coming and going for 8,400,000 births, then what do you think would happen? It is because of not knowing
कल्प की आयु बढ़ा दी है.
that they have increased the age of the kalpa.
अब तुम बच्चे बाप से
Now you children are studying directly in front of the father,
में भाषण आती है.
and you get that feeling inside.
कान तो हिलाओ ना.
So do you nod your head? You do get that feeling? I am sitting here and Baba is talking to me. Are you sitting like this, practically experiencing this?
को भी जरूर आना है.
Definitely he has to come at the auspicious confluence age, and nobody knows when and how he comes. You children know.
कितना खुशी में
And so you have to have so much fluttering in your heart of happiness.
तुम ही कल्प कल्प बाप से वर्षा
Because each and every kalpa you get the inheritance from Baba, and that means that you attain victory over Maya.
जीत पाते हो.
You attain victory and then you get defeat. This is the unlimited victory and defeat. Those kings get a lot of victory and defeat. They get into a lot of wars.
किसी लड़ाई लगती है.
If they have a small war, then they say, well, we won the war, but what did they win? A couple of feet of land.
बीच में कोई नहीं लड़ाई बंद कर.
And in between, the war stops. But if you stop your study, there will be conflict. They get into big wars, and then they get victory. There are first of all just a few kings. First of all, it is the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan, and then other kings start coming later on. Just as you see the Pope, first of all there was one, and then number-wise all the other successive popes came along, because they die and then new one comes. You children know
हमको बाबा अमर बना रहा.
that Baba has made us immortal
अमरपुरी का मालिक बना रहा.
and has made us and is making us into the masters of the world of immortality. So you should be very happy about that. Daddy wants to see if you are actually happy, if there's any hidden person dancing in happiness, knowing that this is true.
छोटे हाल में
Once I saw in the small hall,
डांस कर रहा.
Baba was getting somebody to dance.
ऐसे बब्बू पर नाच रहा है.
He was dancing with his feet.
अभी तक कई बार याद आता है.
And sometimes I remember little scenes like this.
नाच रहा है.
Baba was dancing inside.
इत्तेफाक कर रहा है. नाच
He was walking along and he was dancing as he was walking, a light, springy step, because Baba had so much happiness knowing who he was and who he is becoming. If you don't have the habit of becoming filled with happiness, then this life has no meaning. It's as if you are a sick person in the hospital. So it's a very good exercise to become healthy, is to remain happy and stay light. In a second, if anybody asks me to dance, I can. If somebody can't, I will say, fail, you're body conscious. If you, even the slightest ego doesn't allow you to have any happiness. So you have to practice the way Baba has told you ways to be happy. There isn't a single day where I'm not happy. That's not why we do service, so that we get happy if we have it or not if we don't. You have to be so happy. This is the world of death, and that is the world of immortality. New people cannot understand these things. They wouldn't enjoy them as much as the old ones enjoy them. As the days go by, the gathering is getting bigger and bigger, and faith is becoming more and more firm. In this, you have to have a lot of tolerance. Underline this. You require enormous tolerance. This is the devilish world where people do not hesitate to give sorrow to each other. Your soul says, now I am following Baba's Srimat. I am standing at the confluence age, and everybody else is in the Iron Age. Baba is making us the high-level human being. We are becoming the highest human being, and among people there are elevated people, and that comes through this study. It is through study that someone can become a Chief Justice, for example. Now the Father is teaching you, and it is through this study that, according to your effort within it, you create your status. As much as you study, to that extent you get a high grade, and this is the grade of being a king. There's no other study by which you get this kind of kingly grade. You know that we are in the process of becoming the kings of kings. And so there should be so much happiness within to know that this is so. We are becoming the most elevated ones with the double crown. God the Father is directly teaching us. Nobody else could understand how the incorporeal Father comes and teaches. People call out to the purifier of the impure, asking to be made pure, but they don't become pure. Baba says, lust is the greatest enemy. On one side you call the purifier, and now I have come, and I'm telling you that you have to give up all the ways of being impure. I have come and I'm telling you, children, give up all forms of impurity, so why don't you give it up? It's not that Baba makes you pure and then you carry on being impure. There are many who become impure like that. A few tell the truth and they say, Baba, I made this particular mistake. And Baba says, if you've done any sinful action, then immediately speak to Baba about it. Some tell the truth and some don't. Who is asking you? I'm not going to sit and look at what's going on inside everyone. This is not possible. I come simply in order to give you advice. If you don't become pure, then that's your own loss. Make effort to become pure, but then you become impure, and then all of your accumulated income is finished. You did make effort. You tried to become pure, but then you became impure. So whatever was accumulated thus far is finished, and you will be filled with the feelings of shame. But I myself became impure, so how can I tell anybody else to become pure? It would not emerge from your mouth. So Baba had showed this in practical. We said, Baba, this one was telling such good knowledge and now they're not able to speak anymore. He said, child, they got overshadowed by doubt and so they can't speak. The very, very good speakers were now unable to speak because of the shadow of doubt that sat over them and they lost everything. And they will be feeling shame that they are impure and they can't tell anyone else to be pure. Their conscience will bite because they know that they went against the orders. Now you are making a direct vow and promise to God, and you know that Baba is making us into the masters of the world of peace and the world of happiness, and he is sitting in front of us directly. He is telling us the way to the world of peace and the world of happiness directly in front of us. We are sitting directly in front of him. And this Brahma Baba didn't know this knowledge before, nor did he have a guru who had given him this knowledge. If he did have a guru, he wouldn't give the knowledge only to one person. Gurus always have lots of followers. It can't be just a guru with one follower. This is a simple matter of understanding. The Supreme Guru is only one, and he is telling us the way. And then we tell it to other people. So make this message ready, that there is only one Supreme Guru, and he comes and speaks to us, and then we tell that to other people. This is what's going on, isn't it? You are all told to remember Baba, that's it. Just remember the highest of the High Father and you will attain a high status. You become the King of Kings. And there will be unlimited wealth. You are filling up your pockets and you know that Baba is filling up your pockets fully to the brim. It is said that Kuber had enormous wealth. But in fact, all of you are Kuber. There's a story about Kuber's treasure, and you are getting the treasure in the form of heaven. There is a story of Kudados, the friend of God, and so there was somebody who would give the kingdom for a day to the first person he would meet. This is the story of Kudadost. And these are all examples. Allah means the Father, and Avaldin is the creation, and then there is a vision. You know that indeed through the power of yoga we are taking the fortune of the kingdom of the world. Acha. Say this with Daddy. Good morning. रूहानी बाप की रूहानी बच्चों को नमस्ते. रूहानी बच्चों की रूहानी बाप को नमस्ते. धारणा के लिए साथ. The essence for dharana. इस समय at this time इस आशीष दुनिया में in this whole devilish world आशीष दुनिया में you need to have a very, very high degree of tolerance. Someone may insult you, hurt you. You have to be able to tolerate it. Never give up Baba's Srimad. Second, directly the Father has given you the order to become pure. And so you may not become impure ever. And if you do make a sin, do not hide it. Should we say that if something was done,
खलास कर दे देवे
can we finish it? Can we finish it beforehand?
खलास हो जावे ना
Everything should be finished beforehand, all the old things on your conscience, whatever has happened, it's finished. And then write the truth.
यहाँ एक बॉक्स रख दो
We'll have a box here and in Om Shanti Bhavan, and anything on anybody's conscience, you can just put it in the box and be free.
छोटी मोटी जो भी बात है
Small or big sins.
अच्छा वरदान
Blessing.
संगठन में रहते
Whilst living in the gathering,
लक्ष्य और लक्षण
make sure that your aim and qualifications
तो सामने बना लक्ष्य और लक्षण को समान बनाने वाले
are the same,
सदा शक्तिशाली आत्मा भव
and you are the ones who are always the powerful souls who do this.
संगठन में
When you're in the gathering,
एक तो को देखकर
seeing each other,
उमंग उत्साह भी आता है
you get enthusiasm,
अलबेलापन भी आता है
but you also become careless.
उमंग उत्साह भी आता है
The gathering makes you enthusiastic, but it also makes you careless.
सोचते हैं
You think, well, these people are doing like this, so if I do like this, then so what? What's the big deal? And this is why
बनने का सहयोग लो
you must take the cooperation from the gathering to become elevated.
श्रेष्ठ बनने का सहयोग लो
Take the cooperation of becoming
कर्म
elevated.
करने के पहले
Before you do any karma,
टेंशन वाला लक्ष्य हो
you have to have this special attention or aim that
संपन्न बना करके
I have to make myself complete and become a sample.
मुझे स्वयं को संपन्न बना करके
I myself have to make myself complete and become a sample.
ऐसे तो करो
So this is what you have to do. It's very easy.
फिर बार-बार इस
Then
लक्ष्य को
again and again emerge this aim
लक्ष्य और लक्षण को मिलाते चलो
and bring the aim and qualifications together so that they become one and you become powerful.
बार-बार
Again and again internally
मर्ज करो लक्ष्य को
emerge your aims. Do not forget.
दोनों को मिलाओ
And bring the two together, make the two become one, and you will become very powerful. This is a very good tool you have got.
स्लोगन
The slogan is,
में अगर फास्ट जाना है
if at the end you have to go fast,
लास्ट आए पर फास्ट जाना है
you came late so you have to go fast,
और
then
व्यर्थ संकल्प में समय नहीं गंवाओ
you cannot waste your time in ordinary always thoughts.
सहज विधि
It's a very easy method.
साधारण भी नहीं व्यर्थ तो आ नहीं सकता ओम शांति
Om Shanti.
कितना बाबा को प्यार करें ऐसी मुरली सुनाता है
So you have so much love for Baba because of such a wonderful Murli.